قلبي بالأفراح عظيم بالشباب راح بدور النور طاف بهواك
Archaeologist Caroline Rochelot, another member of the team, is trying to save what she can from the debris.
Now the colors are a little bit pale now, but it would have been really bright, bright colors all over. So quite a festive place indeed.
It's not surprising that the ancient Meroites craved color. The desert land was beige, the sky pale with heat and haze. Only the river offered a reprieve from the monotony.
The green of the agricultural land along the Nile is just beautiful.
Today, it's the same. The people of Dangeil share their ancestors' need for color and their talent for using it to brighten their lives.
And when people color their houses, they carry the color back from the Nile up into the desert.
Though the painted walls from the temple collapsed into fragments, the pattern remains intact. Caroline has the delicate task of putting the pieces back together.
Actually, finding a fragment like this of a wall decoration is extremely rare. We're very, very lucky.
By extrapolating from the wall fragments, Caroline will help Julie recreate the startling beauty of the temple at the height of its glory.
The whole temple would have been painted. The columns would have been painted. The walls would have been painted. There would be color everywhere.
The base of the walls and columns in the outer sanctuary were encircled with figures of water-bearing happy gods, while images of the king and queen making offerings to Amun adorned the upper reaches of the chamber. Even statues of the gods would have been enlivened by color. Each day, the priests of Amun would attend to his countenance, applying a rim of black coal to enhance the ram's red-painted eyes. So far, the team has found no trace of these Amun statues they know should be somewhere inside the temple complex. But what they find in a new trench outside the main doorway leads Julie to believe the missing figures could have suffered the same fate as the altar from the inner sanctuary.
We have large clumps of broken, shattered statue here, but the statues have been smashed into many, many pieces. There's literally thousands and thousands of fragments here, many of which are completely undistinguishable.
After hours of digging, finally, a piece they recognize.
Oh.
It's the red-painted eye of a ram.
Hi. The eyes of the ram did look like this, so this does tell us that they were ram statues. And we were looking specifically for rams because that is the animal of the god Amun.
Unlike the ram statues at the Amun temple at Naga, which are still intact after all these years, their counterparts at Dangeil have suffered a much harsher fate.
It looks like people basically went down the avenue purposefully, step by step, and went to each statue, pushed it over, smashed it, and then moved on to the next one.
Hard work. But the perpetrators didn't show up empty-handed.
Right within the temple, at the scene of the crime, we found this. And I had no idea what it was at first. It's burned on one side. It's a very heavy rock, and it fits nicely in my hand. And then we started looking at it a little bit more and realized that the striking surface is right here. It's a hammerstone. So we had this hypothesis that a rock such as this could have been easily used to break these pieces, the ram and the altar into many, many small pieces.
With a similar tool, not an artifact, Julie will put her theory to the test on a large chunk of sandstone.
This is a type of sandstone that's like that used in the rams in front of the temple. So let's pretend that this is a ram that I've just pushed over. The pieces of rock are fragmenting into very sharp, small pieces. They look very similar to the pieces that we're getting from the altar. I'm pretty happy with this demonstration, in fact. It looks very much like these stone tools could have done the job. We have a crime on our hands here.
It all adds up to an invasion. Ruthless and determined, some powerful force swept through Dangeil and laid waste to the sacred temple. The invaders ransacked the sanctuary, obliterated reference to the Nubian rulers, and destroyed the symbols of their gods. They looted everything of value. And then, as a final gesture, burned the temple to the ground. Had they come to overthrow the Nubian Empire? The Meroites had formidable enemies at the end of their reign, raiding nomads from the desert, and a rival kingdom in what is now Ethiopia. The decline of the Nubian kingdom in the 3rd century AD may have prompted the attack at Dangeil. One thing is sure, the ancient city never recovered from the blow. Once it was destroyed, the people of Dangeil abandoned the temple and their homes.
We've managed to find these answers, and that's really exciting. Now we're looking for some of the details, but we have the answers to the big questions. And that's incredible.
But the story is still unfolding.
There's an awful lot of work to be done at Dangeil. There are mounds and mounds and buildings that are obviously well preserved here. Salah and I could be here for 20, 30 years easily, and still not even scratch the surface of the entire site.
Waiting somewhere beneath the sands may still be the coveted Rosetta Stone, the secret to deciphering the Nubians' mysterious script. And many of the structures in the massive city of Dangeil are still hidden.
It is the work of a whole generation, I think. So what we can do, we can just do a part of it, and maybe our sons will do the rest to complete the story.